How to mind control any woman. Do you wish you had the power to make any woman fall in love with you? Are you tired of playing by the rules only to be rejected by women when they have had enough of you? If that sounds familiar, then this guide is for you. These methods have been proved successful and utilized by countless other men. Number 1. Deliberate misinterpretation. The first technique I'm going to teach you is called deliberate misinterpretation. Think back to a time when you met someone new. Think about the conversations you had. Did you often just nod and agree with whatever they were saying? I bet you did. When guys first meet a girl, they tend to agree with whatever she says. They believe it will make her more attracted to them. But the truth is, it's the opposite. The more you agree with her, the more she sees you as a friend, not someone she is interested in. So what's the solution? You need to change the conversation dynamics. Emphasize that you and her are completely different. Imagine she asks you if you live alone. You respond with, "Are you wondering how much noise you'll be able to make?" See how it works? By flipping the conversation, it implies that she is the one pursuing you. This prompts her to subconsciously try to get you to open up about yourself, rather than the traditional dynamics of the guy asking all the questions. That's technique number 1. Number 2. Double bind. The double bind is a technique that manipulates a woman into making a decision you want by presenting it as multiple choice. It creates artificial boundaries and forces her to choose from 2 options. However, both options are usually the same. To illustrate, imagine you have just met a woman and ask her if she wants to tell you about herself now or later. Another example is suggesting to go for a drink and giving her the options of Friday night or Saturday afternoon. The double bind takes advantage of the fact that our brains prefer to be guided and don't like independent thinking. It becomes even more effective when combined with deliberate misinterpretation. The possibilities of using the double bind are limitless. Fractionation. You see, both of these techniques have one thing in common. They are actually a form of something called fractionation. Fractionation is a way of putting any woman you meet into a hypnotic trance. The woman then becomes addicted to this feeling and she projects this onto you. The result? She then becomes emotionally addicted to you. She won't stop thinking of you every second of the day. How is it done? To put it simply, the purpose of this process is to trigger a mini emotional roller coaster that will confuse her emotions toward you. This seems as if it's in line with the process of seduction, considering that the mess of an emotion will prevent a woman from making an unbiased decision about how she truly feels about you. The technique itself is so subtle that a woman won't realize it's being used on her unless she is looking out for it. Just follow these simple steps. First step, grab her attention. The experts who developed fractionation seduction start out their lesson with a few tips on how to get a woman interested. One method is peacocking, which is done by wearing extremely eye-catching outfits or pieces of clothing like a red shirt, a cowboy hat, or even an overly elaborate suit. Second step, develop trust. You need to create a minor level of trust between you and the woman you want to seduce by letting her get to know you better. Once a woman shows interest and engages you in conversation, tell her something personal about yourself. Better yet, tell her a secret. Studies suggest that people who share personal information are more attractive to their counterparts. Third step, incite positive feelings. Then, you want to create positive feelings inside her by asking her to recall an experience that made her feel ecstatic or happy. As the conversation deepens, you can look for an opportunity to ask the girl about a moment that will elicit feelings of joy, ecstasy, or any positive feelings. Let her talk about it in detail before moving on to the next phase. Fourth step, incite negative feelings. On the other side of the coin, you also can incite negative feelings by asking her to recall an experience that made her feel depressed or scared. After she discusses her happy moment, you can introduce a sadder topic into the mix. Open up about something random that most people get sad about, like a traumatic breakup or losing a pet. Fifth step, repeat steps 3 and 4 twice. Transition between these topics at least twice by telling your partner that the sad topic is too serious for the moment. After a happier topic, you can transition to another sad topic again. Fractionation seduction is a type of hypnosis technique that pushes a person to feel a whirlwind of emotions in a short amount of time. The emotional roller coaster a woman experiences in the scenario above is the significant catalyst of the whole method. What to know before using fractionation? Before you use fractionation seduction on a woman, you have to understand that it's not possible to undo the effects that it has on her. It's similar to hypnosis, but unlike traditional hypnosis, you can't snap your finger and have her come immediately out of her trance. What this means is that once you have a woman under your control using fractionation seduction, you can't just make the effects go away if she starts annoying you. Even worse, she could become obsessed with you and perhaps even turn into a stalker. That's because using these techniques can somewhat damage her emotional well-being. Therefore, if you have bad intentions or if you want to hurt women using these fractional seduction techniques, then you shouldn't. You could cause a woman irreparable damage, so if you want to cause harm, then don't use it.